the DWP, they want to know how was the assessment. So now is the time for our voice to be heard. Hello, I'm your host, Zack, and I'm gonna say briefly. So there is an online survey for people they have the assessment, or they're gonna have the assessment, or they didn't get any PAP, and they want to know how the DWP. They want to know how was the assessment. So now is the time for our voice to be heard. As you can see next to in the slide next to me, I have it also in front of me, so I'm going to read it. So as you can see, it says, how could DWP improve health assessment for PAP and ESA? And ESA reader visual for the survey is available on the link here. You can find the link also in the description below. If you need an adjustment to help you fill in the survey, please contact the Work and Pension Committee by email on workpencom at parliament.uk and by phone in 020-7219-8976. This survey is for people who have had an assessment to claim personal dependence payment, PAP, and or people who have had a work capability assessment to claim employment and support allowance, ESA, or as part of universal credit claim. You don't have to be claiming either benefits at the moment, and you can still fill in the surveys if your claim wasn't successful. So again, this is for people they had unsuccessful assessment, and for those they had already the assessment, even they get or not get anything, just to give their opinion and their thoughts. We will use your response in our health assessment for benefits inquiry. We might publish some or all of your responses on our website or social media, or read them out when we are asking questions in a public committee meeting or in the House of Commons. We won't ask for your name or publish any details that could identify you. If you have had an assessment for another health related benefits that isn't PAP or ESA, for example, attendance allowance, disability leave allowance, or industrial injuries disablement benefit, or you are responding on behalf of an organization, you can send evidence to our inquiry in this web address. Also, you can find it on the description below. This survey will be open until mid-February 2022. So if whoever watching this one, please, it's for our own sake, to be honest. And yeah, but don't put anything more from your pocket, and don't put anything less. Just put your thoughts on how you felt. It takes around 40 minutes to complete. And you can save it. Once you have started the form, you won't be able to save what you've written and come back it later, like some website. For example, if you don't have time to answer all the questions, the full list of survey questions is available at the bottom of this news story, which is in the description below the link. And I already, as you can see here, you're gonna have it on your screen in a bit. You might find it useful to write your answer in a document. You can save and then copy and paste them into the survey from when you're ready. We can help you resolve individual problems with your benefits. The following organizations may be able to give you support or advice, like the citizen advice that we all know. If you don't know, the link will be in the description below, and also all the telephone numbers and when they are open, as you can see also here. You have the step change, and we know, and it says here, we know that our inquiry raised issues that might be difficult or upsetting for you. You can contact the 24-hour Samaritan helpline on 116-123. If you feel low or anxious and need someone to talk to, or email them on J for Joker, O for Oscar, at samaritans.org. Now, as you can see here, I have the question that you're gonna see in the survey. So let me just, before we go there, I'm gonna read very quickly what the survey is about. So by the way, I just remember, click the like button and subscribe. Yeah, I mean, it helps me, and that's it. MPs want to hear your experience of applying for PAP and ESA. The Work and Pension has launched a survey to hear about first-hand experiences of the assessment process for PAP and ESA. This survey is open to everyone who had an assessment to claim PAP, or who have had a work capability assessment either to claim ESA or as part of a universal credit claim. This survey is part of the committee inquiries, which examine the effectiveness of the application and assessment process for benefits paid to disabled people and people with long-term health conditions, amid continuous concern about the problems being experienced by people making claims. Anyone who had an assessment for another health-related benefits can submit written evidence to the inquiry. The committee has previously heard that the application and assessment process for health-related benefits are often flawed, with a majority of people who appeal against decisions made by the DWP being successful. Chair comments. RT Hon Stephen Timms, MP, Chair of Work and Pensions Committee, said, We hear all too often about the problems that people have when being assessed for PAP and ESA, both on committee and as constituency MPs, but progress in improving the assessment has been slow. DWP has said it is currently thinking about how they can be made better, and we think that the view of people who had PAP or ESA assessment are vital to do this effectively. We want to hear directly from people who have been through assessment about how the assessment went and what needs to change to make the process better in the future. Definitely we need to do this. Survey question. Below is the full list of questions included in the survey. You may find it useful to prepare your response in advance or to refer back to them as you complete the survey. I mean, to be honest, just if you have a printer, just print it or on your computer or anywhere, or you can just write down the questions and answer them before you complete it physically on this computer. That makes sense? Makes sense. Section 1. You can fill in this survey about yourself or to tell us about the experience or someone else, such as family members or friend. Are you responding to this survey yourself or on behalf of someone else? Yes, no. Have you claimed... Oh, and by the way, there's also... sorry to stop here. There's also an even more graphical version, so you can find again on the description link below. 2A is the single digital platform. DWP is thinking about whether it should include a single digital platform for PAP and ESA. This might, for example, allow people to make and receive updates on their claims, such as decisions, for example, online without filling any paper forms. That would be good. Or allow for information on claims, such as medical evidence, to be shared between applications for different benefits. That's good again. And section 3 is your experience of applying for PAP and ESA. The committee would like to know more about your experience on applying for PAP and ESA. This could include, for example, finding out information about PAP and ESA before you apply, filling in your forms, and gather any additional medical evidence you might be useful. Section 4, your experience of being assessed for PAP and ESA. After you have applied for PAP or ESA, DWP will assess your claim. This will often involve a face-to-face assessment with one of the department's contractors, Atos, Capita, and Maximus. That's the sometimes claim can be assessed without a face-to-face assessment using evidence that you have provided, for example, medical evidence. Bull. Section 5 is your experience of mandatory consideration. Oh boy. And do all we have one of those. After DWP has decided whether you will receive PAP or ESA, they will contact you with a decision. If you're not happy with the decisions, you can request the DWP review it via a process called mandatory considerations. If you still think that DWP has made the wrong decision after mandatory consideration, you can ask for the appeal tribunal, which is held in court. And some other questions here, like, did you do it, or blah, blah. So now I'm going to read it from here. This will give you more details about the step change and the times, or if you feel upset, where to call. PAP can help you. Okay. One benefit is called personal dependence payment. PAP it helps with some of the extra costs that have paid when you have long-term blah, 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 blah. Other benefits are for people who cannot work because they are not well or having disability. These benefits are employment and support allowances, ESA, and universal credit. Lots of people have been moved over from ESA to universal credit now. How do people get a benefits? If you need a benefits, you have to answer some questions. This is called assessment. An assessment helps DWP understand the types of support you need. We want to tell the departments of work and pensions how to make it easier for people to apply for benefits. We want you to tell us about when you applied for a benefit. You can answer these questions by yourself or ask for help. So, about you, and that's the questions that I'm gonna tell you what is gonna be on the thing. Are you answering this question about yourself? Yes, no. Have you tried to get PAP or ESA or universal credit since 2008? Again, yes, no. Do you get PAP now? Yes, I get. No, I'm not getting. Can you remember what year was you last asked for PAP? Now, this is a bit confusing because is it about the last time or the first time? Because I asked only once. Anyway, question 4. Do you get ESA or universal credit now? Yes, I get ESA, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't. Can you remember what year you last asked for ESA or universal credit? About applying for a benefit. When you ask for PAP or ESA now, you usually fill in paper forms. The department is thinking about having an online applications. Online means using a computer on your device. Do you think this applying online is a good idea? Yes, no, I don't know. And if there's more you want to say about this, you can write down on the box. Question 6. Here are some other things that DWP could put online. Tick the ones that you think are a good idea. The way you making a claim, this is an online form. More information to see how your claim is going. Information about when you can get help with your claim, and a way to put your medical reports online. I'll tick all 4 of them. Asking for PIP or is, yeah. Question number 7. We would like to know more about what happened when you ask to get PIP or ESA. Just remember the first time when you asked for this benefit. What was the procedure and how do we say, stressful? Because I'm sure it was for 99% of the population that they asked for. Question number 8. Ask more about the assessment and decision. Please tell us about when you asked for or apply for PIP or ESA. This could be about how you find out about PIP or ESA, who told you about that, what it was like when you fill in the forms. Remember the first time when you have in front of you the form. For me, it was like, what the fudge? What was like getting evidence about your health or disability? And then what happened? You have to write down what happened. Again, remember, it takes 40 minutes, yeah? Don't rush it, because this is our opportunity to stop this hassle every time when it comes to assessment. What was good about it and what was bad about it? I know lots of bad about it. What good about it? What would make it better? Everything. Having the assessment. Question 8. People have said they are not happy with, really? They're not happy with the way assessments for PIP and ESA are done. Wonder why? You usually have to meet someone for an assessment. Sometimes you have to go to a place called an assessment center. Sometimes a person called an assessor comes to your home. WP can sometimes decide on your claim without you having to meet someone. Big mistake. We want you to tell us about your assessment for a benefit. What happened? What was good about it and what was bad about it? And what will make it better? It's a lot to think and write, to be honest. And complaints and appeals. Question number 9. Some people do not get a benefit from the departments and are unhappy. When people are unhappy with decision the DWP makes, they can complain or appeal. A complaint is called a mandatory consideration. Have you been unhappy and made an appeal or a complaint? Mandatory considerations? Yes, no. What if you say yes, then what happened? And what was good about it and what was bad about it? There's no anything about good about it. What would make it better for people to understand better? And what the words means. Oh, is that all? Yeah, I mean that was the questions. And now I'm gonna read you just a short glossary, as you can see here. Appealing complaints. This is when people are unhappy with decisions and they complain. The department calls a complaint a mandatory considerations, and you have to ask for mandatory considerations before you appeal to the higher court. Otherwise, you don't follow the hierarchy. Assessment. Is an assessment helps the department understand the types of support you need? Benefit. The departments pay benefits money to people who cannot work because they are not well or have a disability. DWP. The Departments for Work and Pensions, also called the department. ESA. It's a benefit called the Employment and Support Allowance. Mandatory considerations. This is when people are unhappy with the decisions and they complain. PAP, it's a benefits called the personal independence payment. Universal credit, or UC, and newer benefits that replaced several old ones and brought them together. Yeah. So that was the inquiry. Please, just make sure this, as I said before, these are a time for our voice to be heard. Since we don't have any access to people, and as you notice, it's not that public because they don't want people to fill up this survey, because they know that most of them, they will they will be on their disadvantage. They will be on their disadvantage. So please, and if you want to have a look on the questions again, I have put on the description below the link where is the assessment, and you can read on your own time. You can also, if you want just to see the questions on actual website, you can just click next, and don't worry, you don't submit it because there's nothing there, and then you can go back again. This is how I print all the pages from there. Yeah, and let's do this, people, because we need to help each other, and this, I think it's a small step, but at least it's something, and now is our chance. Yeah, and that's it for now. Before I go, as I said before, click the like button if you find it helpful, this video, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. If you haven't watched my other previous videos for the PAP, click somewhere, and I'll see you next time. Bye.